Good morning, everyone. My next guest is very special to me. She has helped me along the way the first time around. Her name is Pam with the IMSC. Pam, are you there?
I am.
Awesome. Thank you so much for joining me this morning. I appreciate it.
My pleasure.
Awesome. So, tell everybody a little bit about you and what you do. I love this.
I am, as you said, the president of the Independent Mystery Shoppers Coalition, aka IMSC. And what we do is bring shoppers, schedulers, editors, company owners, and clients together to learn from one another to improve the overall customer service industry.
Awesome. Awesome. Now, why did you decide to do this? How did you get started?
Uh, back in, let's see, I've been mystery shopping since 2000, so 22 years now. But back in 2009, there was a forum for mystery shoppers called Volition, and it's no longer a forum. But anyway, we would connect with each other, and shoppers and companies would post jobs there and that kind of stuff. And at that time, there was only one organization that was doing anything for mystery shopping industry, the MSPA, and they were getting ready to host their next shopper conference. And then they decided that it wasn't financially feasible for them because they were losing money and they weren't going to host the shopper conference in Las Vegas that was supposed to take place. And so the shoppers were like, well, we can do our own. Let's do our own. And everybody's chiming in. I'll help. And da 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 da. Fast forward 6 months later, I was hosting the first conference in Las Vegas. And it just kind of snowballed from there. It is really its own entity. You know, my name is behind it. But the truth is it's the great companies and the great shoppers and schedulers and editors that and the clients. I mean, they all are they're the stars of it. So really, they have are what feeds it. They're what keeps it going.
Right. Now, what year was the first conference?
2009.
Nine. Okay. Because I went to the one in 2012 and learned a lot. So I wanted to circle back a little bit. You mentioned that Volition is no longer around because that's how I got started in 2006
Right.
when I was seeking out secret shopping myself to be a shopper. That's how I found the legit companies was through Volitions. What happened to Volition?
Ray decided that it was too costly. Ray moved from Tucson to a little tiny area up in northern Arizona where it's more peaceful, and he opened up a clothing store.
Oh,
And
nice.
just he loves that lifestyle, but Volition was just taking too much time and effort. Pretty much like any other online, service like that. You've got people that are coming in constantly scamming and spamming and doing all that kind of stuff, and it really takes a lot of time. So when that all stopped was mostly due to social media, because social media now, people are interacting pretty much live time and not having to log into a bunch of places. And so that's how come we've started creating the mystery shopping groups on Facebook, because people still needed those outlets. And he was going to sell Volition, but really, just a website, being a website without interactive things going on,
Uh-huh.
it's kind of hard to keep that afloat.
Right, right. Now I know my reason behind this, but I'm really curious to hear yours. Why did you choose the secret shopping industry?
I did that because, well, it goes a long ways back. I've been an entrepreneur pretty much my whole life. I've worked in customer service since I was 15. My first job was at Burger King. And service has always been my thing. And I found early on, once I started working at Mac's Red Fox and had all that training, I could go in there as a waitress and make $150 in a 4-hour shift. And that spirited the entrepreneurship for me. And I realized that the more I gave, the more I got. And so fast forward, 30 years, and I had my daughter, and my babysitter that everybody had recommended decided that it was appropriate to leave my daughter in a room, slap her, and that type of thing. And I had that on recording when she was 6 months old. So
Oh,
from there, I said, that's it. I'm never going to be in a position to where I have to have somebody else watch my child.
right.
And I moved back to Virginia with my where my family was, so that they could help me raise my daughter while I worked. And then I still didn't. I was dabbling into it, but like most people, you kind of go, is this for real? It seems like it takes so much work to make any real money. Companies are offering $10 a shop or something, and I just could not get it all figured out. So anyway, when Tanea started school, and that's my daughter, when she was in school, she was 8 years old, and I knew that I needed to be home with my daughter. I was actually working for the school district, so we had similar hours. I was a supervisor there, and we had similar hours, but there was still a gap. And I started mystery shopping um, to supplement that income plus fill in the gaps. And anyway, I started making so much money. I was like, okay, that's it. I'm going to stop the drama at the school district, and I'm going to do this. And, but like you, we didn't know where do you find the legitimate companies? Like I said, I had dabbled in it and stuff. Volition was my savior, because you could tell real quick Ray wasn't the person to mess around. He wasn't going to let just anybody get in there. And I thought that was a fabulous thing. So I went to the first MSPA event that was in California at that time, that was near me, and met some great people. In fact, Amber, and Amber was one of the people that I met. She was my controller for many years for the IMSC. And I left there and had a gold certification and realized, this has been great. I love meeting the people, but I haven't learned how to do this work. I haven't learned how to do route shops. I hadn't learned a lot. And so that was the basis of what we used for the IMSC for education, was to teach people not only how to find the great companies that were legitimate, but how to actually do the work. And so I since then, I mean, for 22 years, I just can't imagine myself doing anything else other than being an independent contractor.
Right. Yeah, I'm getting the same way. I definitely been entrepreneur since 2015 now, and I am glad to be back doing this again. I'm so glad that I was able to meet you back in 2012 and actually be a part of Volition, because that right there was a game changer.
It was.
It really was. And I think if we could find something like that going forward, another, I mean, I guess we could talk more about that if there's what other resources are out there. But
Well, there are, Chuck. So the Shopper Scheduler Editor group on Facebook, a lot of our Facebook groups are for everybody. They're not just for IMSC members.
oh, that's
And
great.
so,
Okay.
yeah, so if they go to Facebook and look up IMSC groups, they'll pull up. So like the IMSC job postings group, which is all companies that I regulate and watch very carefully who goes in there and posts jobs. No company that I don't know doesn't go in there.
Great. That's great.
Excuse me.
Hmm.
I just choked on myself. Goodness. And the Shopper Scheduler Editor Connect group is specifically for people to come in and talk about mystery shopping, and how to get started. That's what those groups are for. And so that's what I mean by, social media has really taken its whole toll on traditional forums like that.
Right.
you
Gotcha.
know there's only one that I'm really aware of right now, and even that's, I mean, you go and look at it compared to 3 years ago, even the publications that are there and the people that are involved, it's dropped by 80-90%. So it's really kind of beating a dead horse.
Right. Yeah, I was a little saddened when I saw Shadow Shopper was no longer there. That was another big help.
It was, and that actually got bought out by another large company. And yeah,
Okay.
so
Now,
uh,
are they still doing? Are they still housing the shoppers in that forum, or is that something different?
Yeah, I think it's something different. So,
Gotcha.
Research Metrics, also known as Shop Metrics, actually purchased them.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay. Totally different thing, right?
So yeah, so they do it differently, but they bought out all of what they did was pretty much bought out the database. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Well, I'm glad we have you and the IMSC to have a community to get together for shoppers and shopper companies. That's great. I didn't know that either. I know about your Facebook page, but this is great information for me to put out as well to people that are listening to this podcast, who want to be shoppers and, want to do great things and make companies better.
right, right.
That's awesome. Now, with COVID hit, that changed a lot of things. It's turned this world upside down. So now that we're pretty much on the other side of that now, what challenges do you face now with where we're headed with the shopping industry? With now we're on the other side of COVID.
Well, for a while there, it's taken shoppers a long time to be comfortable going back, and hitting the road, and because there's shoppers out there that do nothing but this. They might be home for 2 weeks out of the year. The rest of the time, they're out there route shopping. So, but it took time because people were like, "Yeah, this is too dangerous," and not to mention a lot of the places wouldn't let people just randomly walk in. So and the restaurants were closed. A lot of restaurants have fallen by the wayside. Um, the biggest thing that I've noticed since COVID, the really great thing that I've noticed is that the the people that are in our industry that are mystery shoppers or mystery shopping company owners, they have really come to I don't know, like a peak as far as their need, what who needs them. Because leading into the really bad part of this is that the customer service just went out the door.
Yeah.
So the employees just got really lackadaisical and really loved the life of just getting money for not doing anything. And so now when they're having to interact with people again, it's like they've forgotten how to provide customer service. And that this goes all the way from a drive-through restaurant to a five-star dining to the most lavish hotel that we have. Customer service is just not there. It's just not there. I do, like I was telling you in a previous conversation, I also own an editing company, so I edit these reports and I watch the videos of the service or lack thereof, should I say. And it's amazing to me. They will look at, they don't stand to greet anybody. They don't look them in the face. They'll say, have a seat over there. We'll be with you as soon as we can.
Yeah.
Anybody that's gone to a doctor's office kind of knows what I'm talking about. That's what's happening with customer service. You're just another number, and nobody really wants to give you the time of day. So more than ever right now, any company that wants to survive and stay on the in a more brick and mortar building, they need mystery shopping because there's a lot they're not seeing going on.
Yes, I have a meeting later today to discuss just that. So we're putting together some documents and white papers and you know good information so these companies understand how important what we do is to their livelihood, because without companies like us, it's difficult for them to survive,
It's
you know.
everything. They're not going to survive, and this is this. I'll give Home Depot as an example. Home Depot has a lot of great products. I mean, you can go there and pretty much find anything you need for your home, your yard, etc. But trying to find customer service in there, with somebody to help you, or actually have a meaningful conversation about the project you're working on, is nearly impossible.
I'm so glad you used Home Depot as an example, because a few months ago I was in a Home Depot looking for a specific product to to hold down some wiring, but I didn't want screws and nails. I wanted, something like command, but I wanted something specific to what I was looking for. There was a guy stocking a shelf in the exact aisle that I was looking for, never acknowledged that I was there. Another customer who was looking for something similar to me, her and I were looking together to try to find what we wanted. He never acknowledged that either one of us were there.
Right.
You know?
If anything, they will ask. They'll say, "Excuse me," for you to move out of their way, so
Yeah,
they can walk around you.
that is so
And
true.
and or you're. I'll give you another example. I'm at Fry's, a grocery store that's owned by Kroger, Publix. It's all the same. They have the people that are doing the shopping for other people, and they've got these big wide carts, and they're going down the aisles, and don't ask them for anything. Do not ask them where anything's at, because they'll say, I don't know. But they're shopping for everybody else. They know that store inside out. But what gets me the most is that they will roll you over with those carts.
Yes. I've seen
They
that in
want
Target.
Yep,
Yeah.
they want you out of the way. And so that is the prime example. But well, I'm going to go back to this for just a second. the, you know Editing these reports, one of the things I found is that unless a client takes on audio or video for their shops, they're only getting to see what we perceived as happening. But when they hear it on audio and see it on video, they see how their employees are looking at these people. uh,
So
how
true.
the because you can say, "Hi, how are you?" with with the nastiest look ever on your face. You can say any words you want, like a trained monkey. But what is that delivery? Does that customer want to come back? Do they feel appreciated? No. And right now, with the economy the way it is, how can you turn away even one customer? You need that income coming in. So
Exactly.
yeah,
Yep.
so that's what I'm saying. It is definitely this, of all the times I've ever seen this. This is the need for mystery shopping is here. I mean, it is here.
Yes. And customer service, a lot of training. And that's the part that customer service, I've been managing and supervising and coaching for 25 years. That's one of my specialties. And
Absolutely.
that's what I want to add to this is, the coaching and training is so important. And that's what part of my meeting is later today, is with a gentleman who does training. So I want to bring him in and have him build some training with us and hopefully bring him on to work with me,
Yeah,
and him and I'll just take this country by storm and
I've
just,
done that. I've done that for a few clients,
mhm,
and taken the information from the mystery shopping reports to teach people that
right,
are working for that client.
right.
And that's the thing, is that it's a very niche market,
Yeah,
because first of all, not you have to understand mystery shopping. Not everybody can do that, because you have to understand mystery shopping. You have to be able to talk to people so that they hear you and are interested in what you have to say. And then you have to be able to point out their faults without making them turn you off because they're feeling bad or feeling guilty or just don't want to hear it.
exactly. And it's interesting that you mentioned that because I read an article the other day. This company had posted about secret shopping. Who can be a mystery shopper? And the article pretty much said anybody can be a shopper. And I just cringed because you and I both know that's not true.
No, it is absolutely not true. It is
Now, to
absolutely
me, right, that's bigger companies looking for anybody just to fill the spot to get the job done to get paid. And
right.
that's what I talk about, with me. I say, look, we want to train people. We want people to understand that mystery shopping, you have to have an eye for this and an ear. You can't just go in and be anybody and do it.
Or you have to be taught, and that's what I'm saying. That's what has been missing in our industry forever, because even though the MSPA hosts events, they don't actually teach people how to do the work. They don't
Mhm.
teach people shut up. And what I mean by that is, they go in and they'll go to a apartment complex or whatever, and they'll ask all the questions that the leasing professional is supposed to ask. You know, they don't. And Liz, which is, I know Liz. I'm not going to say her last name, keep her anonymity,
You're
but
right.
he did a session at one of the conferences that said, "Shut up and let the rep do their job." And so just that kind of stuff, people aren't taught how to do that kind of stuff. So it's not everybody could do it, but not everybody is trained to do it. And since the mystery shopping companies cannot train independent contractors, they do have to hire people that are untrained. So having trained shoppers that have the wherewithal about them, that have got the support of the IMSC, or
Mhm.
somebody has helped them along the way. That's integral to having a good mystery shopping program.
Yeah, that's what I did the first time around back in 2008 to 2012. I
Right.
took upon myself to make sure that I talked to people, show them what they had to do, give them some type of support and training so they knew what they were looking for going in. They're not just going in as a regular person just because they want to get paid, and I got to get the shop done. It was really methodically thought out to make sure they understood what their job entailed, because it's a job. It's not just a fun thing to do. It is a job.
It is a job. And again, mystery shopping companies cannot train independent contractors, but they can do like you did and coach mystery shoppers so
Mhm.
that they can be successful. So,
Right.
the same thing as, if you hire a plumber as an independent contractor, you can't teach them how to fix your toilet. That's against the law. Uh, and really, when companies hire an independent contractor as a mystery shopper, they're expecting that they know this information, just like you would expect a plumber to know this information.
Right.
Or let's say an Uber driver. Would you expect to get in the car with an Uber driver and the Uber driver says, "Okay, well, can you give me directions and can you tell me the best place to go get gas?" No, no, I expect you to know this
You're
information.
supposed to be the professional.
That's right. And that's the same with mystery shopping. Do the research and be that mystery shopper that has done the research. Ask those questions. I'm willing to help anybody that has a desire for this at zero cost. They don't have to pay. I don't want their money. I want them to help our industry.
Yes, and that's why I'm glad I'm back into it. I definitely want, customer service to come back, because there's so many locations where they're just failing because they don't have the time to teach these workers. And one of the pinpoints that I use is, do you know what it costs you to hire and train a new employee? And they don't know. They can't answer that question. And when I tell them what it costs, they just look at me like, whoa. I'm like, right. So if we could fix this ahead of time so I can save you money.
Right. And here's the thing is that you go into, let's say, Forever 21. Just, I know I'm throwing a lot of company names under the bus today, but you know what? It is what it is.
It is what it is, right?
It is what it is. You've got and this isn't about age. You've got a young person in there training another young person, and they're so busy talking about what's happening on TikTok and everything that you can be walking right past them, and they're so busy being trained that they don't have time to deal with the customer in front of them. You cannot go out in this society today and be a successful business, brick and mortar business, and have people that don't want to interact. If they didn't want to interact, there wouldn't be social media like TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. People want to interact. And if they don't start teaching their people to interact with the customers that are in that store and pretend like they're their favorite TikTokers, uh, they're not going to have a business. They're going to be like these empty malls, plain and simple.
Yeah, it's what's interesting is, it, people don't realize there's only a small percentage of people who will voice their opinion on social media about their experience. What about the other percentage that leave your location and don't say a word to anybody there? They just won't come back, you know?
That is about 70% of people. So the
Yeah.
research that I've done is about 70% of people say that's it. I'm just never going back. And I'll tell you, you see a lot of well, the TikTokers, they definitely aren't going to have the time to do that because yeah, if you're trying to get young people into your business, they are coming in for fast, great service and moving on to the next thing. They don't have the time. They don't have. They're not going to give you that second time.
Right.
They can order that stuff online and not have to deal with somebody that's snippety to them.
Yeah.
So put this together, you've got a 20-year-old at Forever 21, and you've got a 20-year-old shopping, and both of them are so interested in the other things that are going on, their TikTok, their social, whatever, social media, YouTube, whatever, getting their numbers up, their followers up, or whatever the case may be. uh, you know Finding that, watching what their followers are doing next, what kind of crazy thing, that then you have zero interaction. Here you are face to face, and you have zero interactions going on.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't want to throw this company under the bus because I'm still working with a few that try to get them to sign on. But I noticed when I went to their location, they weren't the best server. However, when I got up to look for my server, they were standing behind the counter on their phone. You're seeing that a lot nowadays.
Yes, you are. You
Distracted
are.
workers.
And so let me. I'm not sure that you know about. Have you heard of Mystery Media Pro?
I have not.
Okay, so Mystery Media Pro is actually an app that you buy and put on your phone, and you can actually do video recordings from that, just like you would like a video camera. And so at first, it's been out for maybe 6, 7 years now. But at first, people were like, "Oh, people are going to see that I'm recording them and da 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 da." But like you just said, nowadays everybody everywhere is on their phone. And the Mystery Media Pro, what's great about it is I've used it several times. It's the only type of video shopping I do. It doesn't cost $500 like the video equipment. You've got this app on your phone. You start it, you put it in your shirt pocket or in the side pocket on your purse. You walk around, you're recording everything that's going on. If it goes, if your phone tips sideways, whatever, the video still stays up. Picks up wonderful sound. It's a fantastic tool. Um, but nobody notices. I have actually held my phone up to people's faces right in front of me, looking at my phone, watching and making sure that I'm capturing everything that they're doing. And they don't think anything of it because, like you said, they're so used to everybody being on their phone and being rude, basically, which is what it is. It's rude to be on your phone when you're interacting with a human being.
Yeah,
But
I don't know if I'm on a parking lot and they're cutting the grass. I don't know if you can hear that in the
I
background.
cannot. I cannot.
Oh, that's great. I hope the listeners don't get this recorded. He's like right next to my car,
Of course.
and my car's covered in grass. But
Oh, great.
I know, but
Well, don't worry. They'll come blow it off soon, Chuck. So
yeah,
you
right.
got
If I'm
that
still here,
covered.
right. But anyway, I didn't know about that app. And what's the name again? Mystery Shopper Mystery.
No, Mystery Media. It's Mystery Media Pro, and it's available for Android and iOS.
Oh wow, I'm gonna have
Yeah,
to check that out.
and it's a one-time purchase. It's not much. I think it's $50 or $60, but
Hmm.
I used it. I use it all the time. So, like, if I'm going to do video for or even our holidays or of my yard or whatever, I'm using it. What I like about it, as opposed to, it doesn't take up space on my iPhone, so I'm not using, and it stores all your videos and things. You can
Wow.
do video and you can do audio,
Hmm.
and you can even take pictures like through it, but it doesn't use up your storage, so you don't
Wow.
have to pay for additional storage time. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Right. That is awesome. I'm gonna have to put a link to that to this when I do this podcast video. Put it up there
Okay, yeah.
for
Well,
everybody.
yeah, I'll send you. Did you find it already or no?
No, I did not. I was too distracted watching the grass cutting.
I will. I'll make sure you have it. Okay.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you so much. Well, I'm glad we got to speak. This was very informative, especially on my side, and I hope people listening really listen to this and join us, and really get what we're trying to say, that customer service is important right now.
It is. It is.
Yeah.
It's
And
it's sad. I don't know about you, but it saddens me when I go down the street and I go into some place, say where like Hobby Lobby is, and I see that the other 9 stores in the strip mall, it says for lease,
yeah,
and it stays that way for 2 years. Yeah,
yeah,
COVID had part of that, but it's not just COVID. It's that companies are underwater. They don't know how to recover,
yeah.
and
There's
they,
a
they,
there's a
they
local mall. up here by me that the whole bottom level is somewhat filled, but the top level is completely vacant.
Yeah.
Sad.
Yeah. It is sad because not only did malls offer an opportunity to go and do lots of shopping and window shopping and walking around, but it gave people an opportunity to get exercise and have little snacks. And people really actually made, a day out of it. Let's go to the mall and hang out.
Right.
And the teenagers of today are losing out on that.
Yeah.
But one of the places that I think that has stayed pretty much on top of their customer service is a place called Sephora, which is a makeup place.
Hmm.
And they still, you walk in there and their training has stayed with their employees. They still smile and they're interested in helping you and putting makeup on you and that kind of thing.
Yeah,
So
that's great.
it's possible. It's possible, but you need someone that can get back in there and light the fire under these employees and give them a reason to feel that it's their company too, that they're helping themselves succeed as well as their company, not just getting that paycheck.
Right. Make them feel valued. That's a whole nother topic.
It is. It
So I will
is.
bring you back on for another topic of how do we make employees feel valued, because that's a whole project that I'm working on, you know.
Absolutely. And
Yeah.
that's what I do with even my validators that I hire for my editing company. I make sure they understand. You meet. Oh, there we go. Is he blowing?
Yep. He's
Yeah.
blowing around my car. I do apologize.
That's okay. That's all right.
Ugh,
That's real life. That goes to show you're a real human dealing with the stuff we deal with
to
every day.
deal with the everyday nuances of life. That's
Yeah,
exactly
it
right.
is. It is.
Yeah,
And you know
it
what? You
is.
gotta love all aspects of life. This is just, don't blur it out. This is what happens. You'll be
Hey,
having a perfect phone call and all of a sudden
exactly,
so
exactly. Well, do you have
anyway,
anything else you want to add before we get off here?
uh, I do. I have one thing I would say anybody that's listening to this is if you are looking for someone to teach your employees, train your employees, reach out to Chuck. You let him take his expertise both as a mystery shopper, a mystery shopping company owner, and educator. Let him get in there and let him show you what he can do with your folks to reignite that fire. That would be my recommendation. If you're a mystery shopper and you can't reach the IMSC or can't find it, reach out to Chuck. He'll lead you in the right direction, and we'll get you all the information, all the tools you need at no cost to get started and help us bring back customer service.
I appreciate that, Pam. I appreciate that shout out, man, because I'm trying really hard, man, to really get into these owners' heads, and just let them know that, look, we're here to help, man. We want you to be in business.
Exactly. We
So,
don't want to lose you. We don't want to lose you.
exactly. Now, real quick, secret shopping or mystery shopping? What do you like better?
Mystery shopping,
Mystery.
secret shopping. Unfortunately, because of the scammers out there, has left a bad taste in people's mouths when they see that. And so, I let you use the word earlier, professional. And so, when I talk to people, I tell them that it's a professional mystery shopping industry.
Got
Um,
it. So I'm going to have to change all of my wording now because I'm a big secret shopping guy.
yeah, it's mystery shopping definitely has a it doesn't have the tone to it, but
Gotcha.
it is definitely a profession. It is not something you just look at and go, oh, it's not all that important. The jobs that we do, some people's bonuses are based on that. Some people's livelihood is based on that.
Right.
And when you're mystery shopping people, you have to remember the human side of this whole thing. That person that's being mystery shopped is somebody's son, husband, daughter, wife, mother. That's a human being over there. And so you have to remember that when you are giving feedback on these folks, they're humans,
Yeah.
you know
Yep.
and that's again why this training that you're doing for employees is so important. They need to remember that they're humans also. Those are human beings, and I don't think anybody gets up in the morning and says, I'm going to go to work today and just do the worst job possible. I'm just going to go do that. I don't think anybody does that.
I think I have to agree with you. I'm not. I'm on that one too.
Yeah, so where's that gap? That gap is in education. That gap is in making that employee feel valued.
Absolutely. Absolutely. That's one of the things that I really promote is making your employees feel valued. Show them that you want them there. Show them you care. You
Yes.
know? and
Yeah.
it'll all work out when they start seeing their paycheck get bigger, their tips get bigger, more customers are coming in, so everything just gets better, you know.
Treat your employees like you would treat your customers,
There you go.
you
Yep,
know?
absolutely.
Okay,
Yep.
my friend, that's all I have.
All right. Well, Pam, I really appreciate you taking the time. This was a great interview. I look forward to talking with you more.
All right, Chuck, I
And
wish you the best of success. You deserve it.
thank you so much and enjoy your day. And I will talk to you soon.
All right, take
Take
care.
care, Pam. Bye.
Bye bye.